So I've said that today I'm going to speak about singing together with all of nature, as a part of nature, opening voice, and how I work. My primary tool is my voice, to dance together as a creator with creation inside this coming together of utilizing imagination and consciousness and awareness and choice and will, and then being physical, being manifest, and bringing these things together. So when I'm working, I work within the wheel of creation. Wherever I am working, make sure that I'm very aware of the turning of the planet, where the sun rises, where it sets, where north is and south is, how we're flying through space. And then I position myself in the wheel accordingly, according to what I receive through the within. That points to how best for me to dance today, in this moment to moment, with what it is that I'm working with, whether it's a human being, an individual, or a collective, energetic, or a piece of land, a mountain, or a property, or an archetypal energy even. That I'm working with, a geometry. I always first place myself and find myself as part of nature, and in the mythologies that I really enjoy working with, the wheel holds the 12+1 geometries, have placekeepers for every different part of the kingdom and queendom of nature. So including ancestral energies as well, including the rainbow spirits that live between the veils, that we don't necessarily always see, like unicorns and dragons and these creatures that are not in manifest physical form in the same way that we are. They're not walking with the same density. So, yeah, I place myself in that space first, always. I don't follow a specific ritual in order to do this. This is just a small shift in awareness, and then sing. The sound frequencies, the waves of love, of will, that comes together with the consciousness and seeing, that is different to making it up. When we've come to the place where our imaginations we accept them as a part of consciousness and as an art form, and we open ourselves to be vessels. We allow ourselves to be inside with divinity, and the divinity within to flow through us. Then it flows through the expression of our voices, which is not always song or sound. It can also look like movement and dance and spoken word and created form. But yes, when we allow ourselves to become the vessel for divinity, a vessel for divinity, which truly we are. Everything in nature is a vessel for divinity. In this density, a dense vessel, this place where we are, this density can make it feel very much that we're separate, but in fact we're not separate at all. We're very much together with the divinity, and it expresses uniquely through each one of us. So when I work, then I come together with nature using my consciousness, using my imagination, using my intelligence, and knowing where this mountain, I've gone to meet this stone over there in Italy, I've gone to meet this stone over there in France, I've gone to meet, there's these stones in this building over there that I'm working together with, that we've done work together, and we are in communion, in Holy Communion when we do. There's this tree, there's this body of water, there's this meeting of oceans, there's the stars, the many suns. There's the creatures that reveal themselves in density and also through the facility of consciousness and imagination, mind, the part that hasn't become so dense that we can push onto it like this. It is still part of mind. So, when I'm working and singing, I'm singing together with all of this. And I'm seeing and feeling. I feel predominantly through my third eye center because just of the way that life unfolded for me in my journey with childhood experience and trauma that created that facility in me very strongly. So it is my primary feeling center is my third eye, and I see very clearly when I open up voice, when I open up into sacred space to sing, and I sing together with. It's good to sing together with. When in times past when I started really doing this work, then I used to always work for the highest good of all in my prayers, in my intention setting, and it kept the space safe and also safe from me. Because it's very easy to think that we are, or to intend to bring about healing, but when we're not working together, then we can move things prematurely without realizing it. Yes, that thing needs to be moved, but if we're not working together in the harmony of creation, in the great symphony of the synchronicities, then we can move things prematurely. So working for the highest good of all is important, in my opinion. It's very important and also very useful as a means to maintain an authentic, honest, safe environment where everything is brought into togetherness. In my earlier days of working, then I had this thought and this feeling and this fire in me that made me work with more fierceness, more like pressure to move things, must get on the horns and move things and da-da-da. And the more that I walked along the path and received deeper training as my voice strengthened, the more I came to the place of being able to relax as part of nature and really to remember that we are together, that there is so much, the whole of the natural kingdom and queendom, all of the kingdoms and queendoms of nature are in support, in the divine play, in wonder, in awe, in fruiting and flowering and rooting and in roaring, in showing up in every moment of every day in service to the divinity within. That's the place where we're together. And there doesn't have to be any fight to move ancient, difficult, stubborn things. What I've found is that when I'm working together, when we are a we, and I'm working in the we, and I put aside my little me and allow myself to be free as part of all that is, as part of nature, as one voice in the song. The song once is love, and the song knows freedom, and ultimately every part of the song wants to be free. And so there's this process now of, it's been for a while, of remembering equality in freedom, and And this has been a deep, deep blessing for me and training for me, because when I'm working together as part of everything, together with the natural flow, together with nature, and we really do. We've got the mountains, the stones, the mountains, the mineral kingdom, the crystal kingdom that live in the mountains, that are reflected under the waters, under the ground, even in the stars. We work so closely together, and it's amazing. It's wonderful what we're able to do. The trees and the mushroom network that work together with the trees. Hey, we can make beautiful geometries when we work together. Inside with the way I work, which is with the song and with mind, with the imagination. With imagination sounds like child's play, and truly it is. It's divine child. That newborn being that is only aware that I am all that is, and everything tastes like me, and it tastes like, let's taste everything. There's no so working with the flowers, working with the flowers is just profound. The flowers are such beautiful allies, to hold and support us in our wounding, or that energy, that purpose that I'm working for, to call in a flower, one of the flowers, then that energy is able to just start relaxing, because beauty arrives, and the scent and the gentle touch of the petals, and that thing that has felt, that we can call, say for example, it's a demonic energy, entity, some kind of monster, some fierce, angry, I want to control everything, I need more space, I'm greedy, what. When it's given beauty in this way, there's I've observed so many times, again and again, this acceptance of it and relaxation into that beauty space, and then slowly what follows from there is the transmutation, and the true form of that being is able to emerge, which is absolutely beautiful too, oftentimes, and desires to be together. Everything desires to be together ultimately, but desires to know itself as God, and to know all that is as God, to have home, to have family, everything. And in nature, everything is together. In nature, where the freedom of choice stuff that we've got doesn't play in the same way. Although I must say, I am finding, like the deeper we go into communicating with the different aspects of the reality, then when we start talking to the oversoul intelligences of different plants or animals or stones, or ancestral energies, or insect energies, or whatever, when we're speaking to the oversoul intelligences of the waters, of the stars, then sometimes they say, hey, actually we don't want to work in this way anymore. But the design in density, the design is such that they don't, like humans, stand up and walk out of the room. They still show up, So there comes the training of us in integrity to listen and to work together, not to try to control any of the kingdoms and queendoms of nature either, to bring harmony, to bring caretaking of an environment, prepared environment that, already we're in this magnificent prepared environment, where in fact even every single building, every single vehicle, every single piece of plastic is a part of this prepared environment, and it's all is ultimately expressions of God, of divinity. And that is really the flexibility of God. Now we're at a place where we are invited to, and all along we've been invited as humans. It's part of our study of the density, the intelligences that we are. We're invited to choose. We're invited to choose. And ultimately, if I look at it, we're invited to choose to be together, to sing together, to work together with everything, to find the pathways that are most harmonious, to find the pathways that where the waters are able to flow, where the fires can burn without destroying, where the wind can whistle and sing and her song, where the animals, the birds can have space to fly, where the elephants can have space and enough food to eat, where the imagination of the child can be free and the child can feel safe, the divine child. So we've got this choice. This process of being together with nature as part of nature, singing together with nature as part of nature, it is such a privilege to be in this density where things appear to be so separate, where even my two hands seem to be separate from one another. We can create sound. We can come together. If the density wasn't so great and the apparent separation so great, then we wouldn't have the opportunity to practice coming together, to practice making love with all of creation, with our song, with our choices, with our voices. Sometimes still, gentle, sometimes fiery, passionate, to practice holding hands in family, in circle with all of the creation, leaving nobody out. So when I sing inside the density, why such a privilege? Because, we can see the lines very clearly, because the physicality makes it appear to be, there's the mountain, okay, so now I'm together with the mountains and I can feel them, I can sense them, I can draw lines to them, I can hear their songs coming from where they are according to the density, and those other stones and those other stones and those trees and those creatures and those stars and whatever. So it's really an effect of mind and a gift of mind as well, that we have been given this element about being able to maestro, to create, to co-create, to sing together. When I'm entering into ceremony space or healing space, I don't ever have a plan. I'm generally just, I'm given a title to work with. And then from there we listen, because we're together, and I don't know the song. I don't know the pathways, the trees and the flowers and the creatures, the different guardians from inside nature, the stones, the stars. They know the song much better than I, because they are singing it all the time. So what my job is just to get into my seat and sing my part, and that's all. And to observe, because we've got choice, so to observe and watch, and if something is coming in that I'm aware of and I can see it there, that's coming in and wanting for some cleaning, because there's old pains and wounds and whatever sitting there, and that's something. Okay, so then let's do this, everybody. We do it together. Why do I see it? Because I've agreed to look, and I've been trained to look, and still, even there, I don't step up out of my seat and go clean that thing. We stay together. I stay in my seat. I don't do any of the things on my own. Not anymore. And it's very, very, very seldom that I need to fight anymore as well, or work hard, find it difficult. More like when I'm meeting with these very dense challenging, very challenging, because actually dense is not a bad thing, challenging energies that are in pain and creating pain, resonating fear, then it's from my point of view, from sitting together with all that is, with the awareness open, with the imagination open, with the wonder of the child open, the divinity within, together open, free, creating, creative together, not trying to figure anything out, then like these beautiful stories unfold. It's like living inside a children's storybook, inside mythology, and it's such a pleasure and such a privilege to do the work and then to experience the effects of it as well, to bear witness, so it's like, if you plant a fruit tree in your garden, that fruit tree, if you look after it well, it's going to give you fruit. And it's the same kind of thing. If you are called to and then say yes to living in a life of service, to assist, to open the communication lines that the divinity frequencies are able to flow inside with the geometries and systems and structures that form the reality, whether the reality is me, this body, and beyond, whatever it is. When we say yes to that, then it's like planting a little tree, a fruiting tree, and if we look after that tree and we take care, and so we train, we give it what it needs, it's going to start bearing fruit at some stage. And I feel there comes a point where, so long as we are together as part of nature, there comes a point where, like a permaculture garden, the tree doesn't necessarily need to be looked after by another being, because it is looked after by all that is. So, this is the sharing that I can bring now, today, and it's a great pleasure and a privilege. For me, when I'm working with my voice, I tend to oftentimes not word very much at all. Not like to tell people what to do, as such. It's more a process of spelling, of bringing in, or not even necessarily bringing in, but acknowledging energies that present themselves to me with sound, with word. But oftentimes breaking the word up so that it can be free from preconceived ideas, and people's minds can rest and simply receive and move and journey wherever they need to be. I don't necessarily track people's journeys. That's not my job. I listen to, invite in the space. People come inside from free choice. Support the entry in, and then we journey, and I receive and give like a vessel, and together with everything. If I leave something out, it's not a good thing, because everything is here. The good, the bad, the ugly, the dark, the scary, it's all here. It's just like, don't have to leave anything out, because when we're sitting in our seats and singing together with the creation song, then the creation song sings itself, because it is. It simply is. So, it's a wonderful, wonderful adventure and journey and study, being human. I mean, this is really what we're doing here. Being body of earth, fire, wind, water, space, air, all of the colors, all of the elements, all of the sounds. And with these interesting and unique intelligences and the challenge of choice. It's a phenomenal study. It's a phenomenal study, and it's such a privilege to be awake in it. Yeah. not yet mastered. But walking on that path, choosing to walk on that path, and gently, 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 the gentle, gentle, gentle ways. Yeah. Okay, that's all for me. Namaste. Hallelujah. Tukosa. Amen. Aloha. Good vibes. Nice to see you all. Or be seen, shall I say. Nice to be seen. Thank you for the space.